And welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about finance, a lot about economics, a lot of things going on in the world. A lot of people aren't talking about and tying a few things together. As you know, as you can tell by my background, we're having our major event down in Texas in October. We'll get to that in a minute, but I wanted to first talk about assets and finances. And this is not financial advice. This is just one guy talking on the internet, just sharing what I've seen and learned. But there's a lot of things that are going on right now that paint a picture that it just, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you've heard the phrase winter is coming. Well, for the people of Europe, it's really coming, and it's coming hard. They use a lot of liquid natural gas that they have to go and get and buy on the open market. The price of that is just going through the roof. Now that may just sound like a distant issue, and it's not here in the States, but a lot of people in the Northeast have to deal with it too. And the funny thing is that it comes from it comes from Pennsylvania, it comes from Ohio, but the way that it has to get there is that so you have the natural gas that comes from Pennsylvania, but there's no pipeline to take it to the Northeast where they really need it this winter. And there's a lot of natural gas needs. So what has to happen is you have to take that natural gas, take it to refineries and companies that are going to make it into portable natural gas containers down in the Gulf, and then it has to be shipped up to the Northeast if they can afford it, because the same people that are buying that gas from the Northeast are going to be the people that are buying it from Europe, and those prices are going through the roof because that's the path that it has to go. Again, there's no direct path now, but they're not talking about that. But what they are talking about lately is the price of gas at the gas station. But what they're not telling you is how they're keeping that price down. There's a lot of talk these days, and there's a lot of focus on how do we get to November for a lot of the powers that be. Obvious reasons why there's in about 10 weeks or so, there's another election, and they want to get there and look as good as they can, as best as possible. But it's moving the deck chairs around the Titanic. They're just going to make it look as good as possible to get to that date, and then they can let it implode yet again. So while the price of gas is coming down at the pumps lately, they're not telling you how they're doing it. And what they're doing is they're taking 1 million barrels from our reserve, our petroleum reserve in the U.S. They're taking 1 million barrels of petroleum out of that a day. And they've been doing it for the last 3 months. They have the program going to continue through November. Imagine that date. Just to put that in translation, roughly speaking, a barrel is $100. So now you're talking $100 million a day they are spending to keep the gas price down lower than what it was before or could be, or what an economy should drive it to. So this is the financial system being manipulated yet again. So I want to give a shout out to Bitcoin Ben, who did mention that our event that's coming up out in Dallas, Texas on October 8th. Again, you can find out all the information here at Economic Preppers. It's a one-day event with myself, Divvy Daddy, Dylan Bradley. We're working on getting other people that are to attend as well, but it's very affordable. We want to make it available to many people as possible to understand how to prepare for what's coming. Winter is coming. We talked about that. Other things, and I've heard this on many channels. I'm like, just to give you some rundown of people I've listened to. Economic Ninja, talking to him as well. I know that Divvy Daddy is actually with him today at the Silver Symposium up in Spokane, Washington. I couldn't make it, but he's there and he's learning. He's there with Jack from Nobody Special Finance. I don't know why I can never say that station right, but his channel is great. He's part of Ninja Nation like we are. There's Chris Taylor from Financial Preppers. All these different channels, like on the Uneducated Economist too is another great channel. Just throwing out a bunch of different channels because these are kind of things I listen to. Canadian Prepper. There's so many good channels. If just go to my YouTube channel and just look at some of the videos that I've watched or things I subscribe to. I think it's pretty much out there. But if you want me to do a video to talk about who I watch or who I listen to, just leave a comment down below and I'll get to that. But I want to talk about assets and cash now. Now, there's a lot of things going on right now, and there's a lot of people that say we've been told for years, whenever we were growing up, save for a rainy day, save your money, save. Well, I want to tell you that this is not money. This is currency, and the buying power for this $20 bill is going down day after day after day. So while there is an argument to say that you want to have some cash on hand because we don't know what's going to happen, we need to be prepared and not scared of what could possibly happen. But we need to what if ourselves to lots of different outcomes and lots of different things. And that's why I'll post this video up here. I made the a 3 buckets, or a 3, like a, I think I called it the cash, coins, and crypto. I'll post that video up there as well. Just like 3 different approaches that you can do to be as prepared as you can to have a little bit of all of those things, because we don't know how it's all going to play out. We have our own theories. I have my own theory, which is that, that cash will be king for a short while because banks and ATMs will fail at some point. And then when the cash is no longer accepted, or cash is deemed to be worthless. I mean, throughout history, like these kinds of things, they don't last, right? This is a fiat currency. Think about any government issued currency. Do they still exist? Think about any conqueror in the past. Whenever they conquered, did they take the paper money, or did they burn it and take the real things that were valuable, real assets, real things that, like the things that are pictured right in this logo, is like, get the camera orientation figured out just right. So gold, they do take the precious metal, they take gold, they take silver, they take the real estate, and now they take the digital gold, which is right here, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Now, there's a lot of people that are debating, and I've heard some debates. David Morgan does a show that he's not a crypto supporter. He thinks it's corrupted. But I want to point out, just like these axes in this logo, Bitcoin is a tool, right? It's like a hammer, like a firearm. It can be used for good or for bad, right? You can use a hammer to build a house. You can use a hammer to hit somebody in the head. Either of those things. The hammer doesn't care what you do with it. It's a tool, and you use it for good or for bad purposes. Bitcoin is the same way. The financial system is a different story altogether, but we see that all the signs of crumbling is starting to happen. So back to cash, right? Cash, which is the better term for this, or currency, because it's not real money. Money holds its value over time. There's an argument to have some on hand. Absolutely. There's also a good argument to spend it as soon as you can. There's 2 arguments, right? There's argument to spend it as soon as you can because it's losing its buying power. However, due to the manipulation of the financial system, prices could be coming down, much like we've seen with gas and what they're doing with pumping more petroleum into the system. So things that are manipulatable, like the price of silver, has been manipulated for years. We all know that. With things being manipulated, you need to have you need to have a strategy for all the different things. Yes, you should be prepared for if the supermarkets run dry this winter. What could happen? We should be prepared if the ATMs stop working, which it should be happening. We should be prepared if cash loses all its value. It could happen. All these things could happen. That's the kind of thing that we need to talk about and be prepared for. And we're going to teach you and talk about at this event up in Dallas, Texas on October 8th. Economicpreppers.com is where you can get your tickets. The tickets are under $200 right now up until mid-September. All right. But there's limited space right now. Now, we can make changes, but we need to see, we want to see people, we want to know if you're interested. We want to see some tickets being bought. So we would love for you. I really, again, appreciate all the other channels shouting us out and talking about this event, but we're doing it for you guys. We're not doing it to make money. We're doing it. We want to break even. That's our goal. Our goal, anything after that is great and help goes forward to spreading the word at another event. The purpose of this is and the reason we made it as affordable as possible is because we want to get everybody there and get as many people prepared, not scared, and educate them about what's happening, wake people up about what's really going on, and let them go back to their homes with the workbook, with the Telegram that they can contact us, with other ways to reach us going forward, so they can go back to their communities and start telling people there too. So that's why we're doing the event. I would love to see you there down in Dallas, Texas on October 8th. But for all that said today, I'm going to close the drawer on the bureau, say follow leader one more time. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.